Hello, everyone. Welcome to another scene for the Living World of Darkness, Changeling and the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition venue is set in New York City. In this scene, we're going to open with Maxine and Charles at Charles's apartment. What are they doing?
So, Charles's high-rise Manhattan apartment has those beautiful, nice windows looking over the city of Manhattan. It's ironic. It's one of the rare times they actually both, ironically, have a little bit of like the afternoon off from work. Maybe they have a later night shift, or maybe they got up like really early in the morning for work. Doesn't matter really. But either way, they're having a late meal. From one of the from not the local Mexican place, since Charles has already hit that up at least once, and he does not go to any place or order from any place more than once, unless it seems to be Vixen, apparently. But it's definitely from a place further downtown, but he's got like a big plethora of different Mexican dishes on there, like tortadas, tacos of various varieties, quesadillas, burritos of all sorts, way too many chips. You get the drill. And for the moment, they're just eating.
Yes, munching happily on chips and salsa.
There are some vegetarian or vegetarian bent dishes that were specifically made for her.
Appreciated as usual. But yes, chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa. So, okay, as they're eating and having their nice meal, there is a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Charles gets up, wipes his mouth for a moment. Excuse me for a moment. And he walks over and he peeps through the window just to see who's coming, or, through the peephole to see who it is.
That.
Yep.
Standing outside his door.
Charles just puts on a nice wide smile. And he turns to Maxine, and he mouths to her. It was a sort of a nice little stage whisper, actually. Be polite. As he opens the door. Ah, Sir Carol.
Sir Carol, he smiles. This fake smile at Charles. Hello. May I come in?
Of course you may. May I take your coat?
Yes.
Maxine is just cringing.
Charles takes the coat and everything, and he sets it up. You've arrived just in time, actually. We're just sitting down for a meal. We've got quite a selection from the El Polo Loco, not 27 blocks, I want to say, from here.
27 blocks. Sorry. Okay. Brows go up. Like 27 blocks. All right. Are you inviting me to sit down and eat with you?
Why, of course.
Excellent. He rolls his eyes a little bit. Sits down.
I was just going to mix up some margaritas too. And he says, as a matter of fact, I think there's some extra here. Enough for 3, he says as he starts to pour them.
Oh, excellent. It must be my lucky day.
As he puts them down in there, he's got the salt, he's got the the limes and everything on there, and he sits down.
Maxine is looking between the two of them and wondering, is this a setup?
Right? God. He'll sit down. He looks at Charles, smiles. How are you doing?
Oh, quite pleasant. Quite pleasant. And yourself, my liege?
I can't complain.
Can't or won't? I'm just curious.
He'll think. I've had a string of bad luck as of late. Can't put my finger on why.
Oh, how unfortunate. Well, hopefully, with a nice meal in your belly and a good glass amongst friends, and he just gives like there's a small little twitch at the side of his face when he says friends, but I'm sure everything will just turn around.
Perhaps.
I'm curious, though, what do we owe the honor of your company?
Oh, can I just come and check on my favorite squire?
Oh, your favorite? Oh, my liege. I'm your only squire.
Oh, that's right.
Chips and salsa. Wondering what has become of my life.
Although I have heard troubling rumors.
Oh?
Well, perhaps, seems silly to me, that you would possibly be in the market for another, actually.
Perhaps.
Oh, really now?
Where do we fill out the job applications?
He smiles at Maxine. What would you like to apply?
I'd like to apply so much.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, apply what to what has yet to be seen. Chip and salsa.
God damn, you cut the tension with a fucking knife in here.
Charles just sips from his margarita. He's still smiling, just smiling. Oh,
so
wonderfully.
is Sir Carol. He's smiling, sipping his own margarita and picking at the chips and salsa and whatever else was set before him to eat.
Maxine quietly thanks Don she is not a she.
There's something on your mind. I can feel it.
Well, there's many things on my mind, or, well, maybe nothing at all. It all depends.
You spend too much time around the puka.
Oh, just the one, really.
That's why I said the puka. Looking at Maxine.
Oh, Maxine, do you hear? You're the epitome of your people.
Well, I am a terrible, terrible influence on you, Charles. Thank you, friend. Encouraging you to do all manners of horrible, nightmarish things.
Yes, skee ball being the most atrocious of them all.
How do you stand the company of a monster like myself?
Honestly, it's what keeps me awake every night.
Oh dear. And here I was thinking it was your sleeping arrangement.
Now I'm beginning to think that something weighs heavy on your mind, my liege.
And why would you think that?
Oh. Just call it a intuition.
Intuition. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Sir Christian?
Sir Christian?
Mhm.
Well. If I was to be as bold enough to speak ill of someone who wasn't here, I'd say he would be an embarrassment to the Barony of the Shimmering Dream, and well, I think you already heard my statement on his memory of Iona.
Indeed.
And that was actually a sharp, like a very subtle jab because of his relationship with Iona. So that's
yeah, he actually visibly flinches just slightly when he says her name. He narrows his eyes.
So really, I'm not sure if there's anything else to say that hasn't already been said. Although I hear the duel is going to proceed as expected.
He nods. Mm-hmm.
Maxine scowls at the talk of the duel.
I said, Carol, you've hardly touched your food. Something wrong?
No. He picks at it again.
I'm sorry, is it not to your liking? Perhaps I should order something else.
No, that won't be necessary. I will eat what's in front of me.
Ah, good.
My gracious host. That is said with an air of sarcasm.
Yeah. Of course, of course. Well, I guess with that, let's see here. And Charles is getting himself a quesadilla and whatnot. And what's up? But I don't think you came here to discuss Sir Christian. At least not solely that.
No. Sebastian sent me.
Oh.
Thinks that I should get to know you. So here I am.
Get to know me? My goodness. I thought that our relationship was very well defined, distant, and when you say jump, I ask how high.
Indeed, and I liked it that way, but Sebastian thinks that knights and their squires should be a bit closer than that. So here we are.
Here we are.
More friends.
Making more and more than by the day. Yes. Let's see. I think we are. I think someone is running low on their margaritas. I shall go mix them up post haste. He gets up and starts getting more glasses out and starts, getting the blender out and everything like that. But he's still watching from the kitchen, at least from the corner of his eye.
Mm-hmm. Sir Carol will eat chips and salsa and a burrito. Something. He'll just make sure that he's eating what has been put in front of him.
Charles eventually comes back and he's still smiling and he pours out some tops off the margaritas and everything. And So, who have you thought for a possible candidate?
Maybe that sleuth, Dessa.
Oh, really? Dessa? That's odd. I thought rumor it was a slua, but not that one.
He smiles. There is another sleuth.
But perhaps I might be a bit bold to say, but I don't think he's for what's the term they use these days? Up for grabs?
Raises his eyebrows.
Confused by the expression or confused by who I'm referring to? It could be either or both.
Who you're referring to?
A pity. I guess I got some wrong information. Totally didn't.
Years.
No. He's lying. He's trying to throw Charles off.
Oh, Charles. Charles knows he's lying.
Mhm.
And he knows exactly who it is. He doesn't need to botch that one to know.
And because I'm not even gonna try and make him believable because he has 7 botches in this scene. So he auto botches manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah. I can, if you don't mind me getting a little bit more insight on him, can I roll a perception psychology psychoanalysis roll on him? See if I can't dig some things out of him. Push him in a direction. Just so right. Yeah, go ahead.
While he's doing that, can I roll my birthright?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Oh, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes on a perception psychology psychoanalysis roll on getting to figure out how to push him in the way I want him to be pushed.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's nothing.
Nothing. Not this time, Maxine. Sorry.
Never. I am the worst Puka when it comes to that role.
Oh, at least it's not a botch. That would suck.
Yeah.
So wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you got.
It's 10, so it's 6 actually because the 10's double.
Yeah, most on most things, anything over 5 is just kind of moot because 5 is exceptional success. There's really nothing beyond that. So, yeah, he's kind of an open book.
Yep.
He's trying very hard to act like everything is fine, obviously. But Charles can tell that he is actually a little afraid of him. And yeah, so and he obviously knows what he did, but he's not voicing that.
Oh, of course not.
You
look tired. Sorry, Maxine, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would anyone want a squire other than Charles?
I like to keep my options open and not shoulder all responsibility on one.
How diversifying of you. Your new responsibilities may look like they've been making you rather tired as of late.
I could probably use some extra rest, yes.
But there's no rest does not always cure the weariness of one's soul, now does it, my liege?
He smiles. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Of course not. I'm merely just talking to the air. After all, that's what I do. I'm just all talk.
Maxine gives him a look. She's heard that statement before.
He actually, Charles can notice him kind of flinch a little bit when he says that. Oh.
So I hear everything's going fantastic in my old stomping grounds. Such a shame you would deny me the opportunity to pay back your gracious favor.
He looks at her. Oh, I didn't want to trouble you. You have so much going on here.
Indeed. It's a shame that perhaps I might not be your squire for very much longer, my liege, but because I would so have loved to have learned how, perhaps as a house I Lunid secret, how one can so quickly and easily just make words meaningless.
What do you mean?
Oh, I think, well, I'm not quite sure. I think it's, that's funny. That's actually kind of hysterical, actually. And Charles just sort of thumbs the ring as he just sort of goes to chuckle to his face.
See, so something just happened to me at a game that I think would be great flavor for in game. So, Sir Carol, he lifts a finger to his left ear and kind of so when someone has ringing in their ears and they're trying to stop it.
Yeah.
That's what he does to his left ear. He just subconsciously he gets a ring in his ear and he just kind of does that.
My lord, you don't look well.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
Oh, what kind of squire would I be if I did not care for your health, and especially what kind of host? I have some ibuprofen in the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Maxine cringes as she's left alone in the room with Sir Carol.
Sir Carol kind of looks at Maxine, and he doesn't stare at her directly, but his gaze is upon her, and she kind of she definitely feels uneasy about it.
I'm sorry, do I have something on my face?
No.
Excellent. She just kind of drums her fingers in a staccato rhythm. She waits for her friend to come back from the bathroom.
Charles takes a maybe a little too long to find the ibuprofen, just enough that it's not questionable, but enough to let that tension sort of build before he finally comes back.
Oh, plenty of tension built. He walks back and it's just hanging in the air, so thicker than it was when he walked out.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, mm-hmm.
He's just waiting for that right moment to, sort of tap the ice in the right place to make someone break. So please it sound. And he gets some water from the kitchen and he hands the glass and some of the tablets to him.
Well, he'll take them. Obviously, he will take them. He's not going to refuse.
Of course he wouldn't.
Yeah, he will take the ibuprofen and he will thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
He'll smile that smile that he's been smiling. He'll reach up and scratch his mustache a little bit, kind of play with the tip.
Yep. You know, oh, Carol, given that you haven't been sleeping well and apparently these headaches, you could potentially use a very good therapy session.
What kind of therapy?
Oh, nothing much. Maybe it'll ease your mind to get some things off your mind, off your chest, off your heart. I wouldn't know how that is. Which is a nice, another subtle jab.
Yeah, and he kind of takes the bait. He goes, "No, you wouldn't, would you?"
Well, I don't know. I have at least as far as I've been told, I have a pulse.
Your body might have a pulse. Your soul doesn't.
Well, the soul and the heart's two very different things, my liege.
Maxine's beginning to kind of scowl at Sir Carol. He's trying to not.
His massage is not holding up very well. It's starting to come down.
Yeah. He's Charles just making strategic pokes.
And I'm not even rolling to try and keep up the massage because it's not happening.
Yeah.
Nope. All auto botches.
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Right?
I do think my dear friend was offering to help you. He is just the best ear for these kinds of problems.
He clenches his jaw.
I think it was Buddha who said that holding on to hate was like holding on to a hot coal with the intent to hurl it at someone. All it does is just burn your hand.
Why do you think I am holding on to hate? He furrows his brow.
No reason, but I was using it more as a metaphor, really. Really, if we hold on to anything for too long, it can poison us. Poison who we are very, very deeply.
He'll nod. I suppose that is one way to look at it.
Indeed it is. Perhaps there's something you've been holding on to that's been keeping you from sleeping. Or maybe there's something that you've let go. It's not sitting right with you. I mean, it really could be any number of things.
I think that number's 4. Just an arbitrary number, of course. For me.
4. You know what? Let's use that as an exercise. 4.
His brows go up a little bit, and he visibly tenses when she says 4.
I wonder what the number 4 means to you, my liege. Certainly has gotten your attention.
He'll think for just a moment, and he'll like stroke his mustache, almost, but it's almost a bit nervously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how someone will just fidget when they're nervous?
Yeah.
He seems to do that with his mustache. And where the heck? There it is. It's like, well, I remember that I proposed 4 choices to Maxine.
Ah, 4 choices to fulfill the bond. Was this before or after you decided to trade it to someone else?
There it is. I was wondering when that was going to come up.
Although, I am confused, if you don't mind me, Sir Carol, because I thought, I could be wrong, I don't think you gave 4 options.
Oh.
Are you telling me he never told you about the 4 options? My.
Yes, I thought it was very clear. You were supposed to marry the Baron directly.
Yes, foretold by the
Shakes.
seer.
Blinks.
Because of our close connection, my dear friend. And she's not even looking at Sir Carol. She just smiles at Charles as she says this.
It's fantastic. He licks his lips and swallows.
Ah, yes, that's true. Although I am a little confused further, because I don't think Carol's lying about giving you options. I just don't think it was 4.
Well, I do love counting games. Let's start off. 4 options. We can let the company start.
After all, Carol, I think Sebastian wanted us to get to know each other better, so I think it's better if we just ease our minds.
The first was marrying Baron Sebastian. But contract could also be fulfilled by finding another suitable partner for marriage.
Seers be damned, of course.
No, what do they know anyway? It's like as if he forgot that he was very emphatic about doing what the seer wanted before. Like he just kind of forgot that. Yeah. He's absent-minded. He forgot.
He forgot.
It's gone. Gone. Goodbye.
But that's 2 options, not 4.
He looks to Maxine.
Oh, is it my turn? I do think your guest is feeling a little tongue-tied. But certainly, you don't want me to explain because my kith is untrustworthy. So please, continue.
I will admit I was paranoid that you might have been up to something, so I said that Maxine could find out what you were up to and stop you and report back to me.
Oh, well, that was just a bit of paranoia you never needed to concern yourself over. After all, I am sworn to you, my liege. Your will is my will is your will.
I nod.
And that's 3. Oh. Is it because you never gave the 4th option, but merely supported it?
How?
Perhaps it was the young Baron's slew squire. That's why I thought the rumor was connected, probably something completely different. Probably got some wires crossed along the way.
Very dangerous crossing things, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
After all, it would break my heart if somebody just misunderstood what I was intending because of crossed wires.
Indeed.
Devastating.
So, Carol, now that we've got that out in the open, how do you feel? Just giving that infuriating, pleasant smile.
Mm-hmm. I suppose maybe I do feel a little better.
Now. We're trying to be honest here now, aren't we?
He looks at Maxine. I don't know, are we?
She just gives a smile. A sweet and beguiling smile.
He sips his margarita.
Well, I think we've made a very good first start. After all, we're coming out with some dark secrets. Maybe eventually we'll get into some of the heart of certain matters.
Ooh, are we sharing secrets? Did you know?
Well,
I know a secret about the poor, unfortunate lady who passed away, and that dreadful, the one we celebrated at the dreadful funeral.
Oh, you mean the lovely Iona?
Unfortunately, yes. And the fellow who so abruptly ended her. Did you know he was in love with her?
Really now?
He narrows his eyes.
Indeed. So much so that is what moved him to such brash actions.
Oh,
Imagine being so lovelorn that you act like a maniac.
I don't think I could ever imagine that after all. Just not something that weighs heavy on my heart.
clenches his fists. The look on his face now is a lot like the one on his picture. His jaw tight, grits his teeth.
It's such a shame that she had to, that was the route he had to go in order to try and prove his worth. Such a maddening force it is.
I don't understand why he couldn't just talk to her. She seemed like such a charming lady. Certainly she could have made time for him in that sweet and personal way.
Indeed. Sure that she would have listened.
Listened.
You're upset that I transferred the contract without your knowledge. Am I right?
Upset? Oh no, I'm not upset. That is one word in a multitude that I could possibly be, but upset is not one of them. Now the question is, are you?
No.
Then you are doing, then I don't see why we need these airs of things. What has happened has happened. After all, it's not either of us to be upset. I don't think anyone at this table is upset about the situation. Although I do wonder. And the things, he says as he thumbs around the ring again, just twists it a bit. What just might be upset? About such things.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm surprised that you would have to ask me such a thing. All things considering, I figured Haisai Lunid, knowing the greater secrets and mysteries of such things, would be very well aware of the intermediary between all contracts and oaths.
I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with screaming.
He chuckles. Indeed.
Tell me, have you been dreaming as of late?
No.
Well, that's no good. Sometime clearly you're not getting what your body needs. Pure good old REM sleep. Perhaps that's why you're tired and on edge. Or maybe it's something else.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh, I don't necessarily want you to say anything. I just want you to say something that's honest. Not just to us, but to yourself.
I can't think of anything.
My goodness.
Such a pity. Well, maybe something will come to you later.
Yes,
Would you
he's
like me
very
to
good at
text
coming
it
up with
to you?
solutions.
Sometimes we pour it out in written words. Sometimes we feel more free with ourselves. I could always get you some pen and parchment.
That won't be necessary.
Very well. Now I think there's been something building up that you want to say. After all, we've been talking here and lamenting of the loss of one so fair, and seeing her barony turn into such a travesty. Sure, it's got something. Carol, I think in this time, if we're going to be open and honest with one another, I think now's a good time to be open and honest. Do you remember the day I came into your court and pledged myself to Iona? Said I would serve the barony of Manhattan? And she gave me to you, to have and to hold, to protect and to serve. Do you know why she did it?
No. Because she loved you. You know.
And she loved you so much that she knew you needed help. You were a prize and joy of her life, but she knew that there needed to be someone to be able to do things around her barony. Someone to guide, even in a subservient position, to greater heights than they could ever possibly see.
That's a lot of potentials that she saw in you, my dear, dear friend.
Ah, yes. Lots of potentials. Potentials she hoped could be passed on to another. But I'm sure even now, in her untimely and tragic passing, she would have hoped that I could still be of great service to my liege and guide him. It's such a shame that he's so willing to throw the gift away.
Oh, you must not think highly of the giver.
Mm.
Well, that gets his attention. He kind of growls. That's not true.
Hmm?
That's not true.
Oh, well, as somebody very familiar with untruths, I'd have to say that the blatant disregard and outright abuse I've seen you display upon my dear, dear, close, cherished, treasured friend suggests that you care little about the gift that Iona bestowed upon you. That you would treat him so dismissively and look to replace him, no less. I mean, and she'll hold up her hand when I'm given a gift, and she'll look at her ring that she wears. I cherish it and keep it close by.
He nods.
So, what must you have thought of Iona to abuse her gift? And she'll look at Charles and look back at Sir Carol. Was she unworthy of cherishing in your eyes? Did you find her and her gifts repulsive? Trying to goad.
It's been one big goad up. That's what this has been.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I think that must be it. You must have simply thought that Lady Iona gave such treasures freely to anyone, and, well, maybe she did, after all. Oh, but poor dear. Right in the chest. Right in the heart with cold iron. I wonder what gift she bestowed upon him.
He looks like he's very close to like wanting to just slam his fists on the table.
Good. We're almost there. He's
getting so angry.
We can only hope that whatever Dax received, if he did receive anything, is something that he can hold and cherish on to in his current state.
Well, he can always hold on to the fact that he was the last to touch her alive.
Ow.
He grinds his teeth. His fists are clenched. And he's just glaring, burning through both Maxine and Charles right now. I think I have overstayed my welcome.
Oh no, please. I believe there's still plenty more food on the table.
No. He starts to get up.
Leaving so soon, are we, Carol?
I'm very tired. I must sleep.
Oh, well, as a guest, fellow guests, isn't there room somewhere on a couch or something?
Oh, of course. I could always draw something out. After all, I think I have a special air mattress just in case for such occasions.
I'd like to go home.
Very well. No one will stop you.
He gets up.
There is one thing, though.
He clenches his fists and turns around. What?
Giles just sort of looks expectantly. Isn't there something you'd like to say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shame. Very well. As he starts to turn around, Charles goes, "Oh, I remembered what it was that you forgot to do."
What?
Charles stands up, and there's this big, shit-eating grin on his face. As you're halfway out the door, I think it's a little late to make recompense, or at the very least offer a fair offer of reciprocity for the hospitality shown to you this day.
Oh, he goes pale. He was
Yes,
so angry,
I think.
He forgot.
Yeah. I think it's a little late since your desire to go home and your. As Charles sort of goes around the desk. In such a state. So, let us speak freely here in this moment in time, my liege. I am not upset with the oath, with your contract being so lifted so casually for your careless actions of protection for me, or the desire that anything in your options for my beloved friend here has anything to do with protect for the good of the barony and nothing more or less. I am livid. And there's almost the sound of what you almost feel like thorns almost scratching against glass on the outside of things as he says those words.
He covers his ears, like the noise is so sudden, and he just covers his ears.
Do you know why I'm the keeper of the diamond word, Sir Carol?
He glares at him.
Because my words are as eternal and unbreakable as diamond, while yours are as fragile as glass. And that's my unleashing.
Okay.
Yep. So I get 1 bonus die. Well, actually, -1 to the difficulty on this roll because he broke hospitality. So it's a difficulty 6 unleashing. Let's see how it goes.
Fantastic.
1 success. Oh no! Come on. Oh, I can still spend willpower if you let me. Because I want that.
If you would have, yeah. If you, I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Okay,
you can.
That's fine. Okay, will do. All that stuff. I want this, and I'm in control. So This is what happens to our beloved Carol. So Charles's features, as the weird takes over, suddenly become more pronounced, more bright, more shining. And as he says those words, and yours are just like glass. Carol sort of like stands for a moment. Then there's a moment where he's sort of confused for a moment as his body starts going stiff. And he's looking at himself, and he gets a chance to look up as there's horror and fear and anger all mixed together in one, as suddenly he's just frozen, like in a complete state, as you see him right there. And then you hear the sound of what sounds like thorns scraping against glass. And then he shatters. Just like glass, perfectly flesh-colored in pieces, even the internal organs and everything all just shattering and bursting apart, except for one thing. The heart stays perfectly intact.
Maxine will gather some of the pieces and sort of like shivering as she does so because good God, and sort of throws it in the air and snaps her fingers, and that's going to be her Chronos bunk. To stop the progress of it falling, she says, suspend.
Okay.
Do we still get to use the extra dice as our gimme for the stuff? Or is it just the botches?
Oh, no. Unfortunately, I think it was the botches. I don't think we get the extra dice. I don't know where that was from. Must have been something of a rule change. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? Either way, bunk him.
Yep. And I'm spending a willpower as well.
Okay. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 5 successes then.
Wow.
For 10 years, he is going to hover in a suspended glass around this glass heart.
Mm-hmm. Just, that perfect, slow motion glass breaking.
That also means his face soul is suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So he is trapped for 10 years in glass.
Shattering forever.
That is a fitting fucking punishment. I love it so much. You guys are amazing.
Thanks for letting me retroactively spend that willpower. Jesus. First time I try to roll a unleashing. That's
It's fine. It happens. It's happened to me. I try to be lenient with possible.
I've realized I should have rolled 1 more dice because I forgot about the nightmare die being added to that. Let's just see if I needed to roll that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's
I just want to see. It doesn't.
Just see.
It doesn't matter now what happens.
Right? It doesn't matter. But
Why can't I roll this good when I'm trying to do nice?
There we go. That's the one success I needed. So
yeah,
Yay,
you
it
know
all
what?
works.
So yeah, it works. Just you know what? Because you did forget to roll it.
Mm.
Yeah. Keep the willpower. That's
Okay.
the final success that you needed, or that's
Yay.
the one success that you needed to make it happen. Either way, it happened. So
Yep. There he goes. And we have a wonderful gift as Charles is looking at this beautiful, beautiful thing. He knows exactly what he's going to do with Carol in his current state. It's time for a message to be sent. It's time for people to be reminded, not just of who the keeper of the diamond word is, but those that dare try to think they can get around the purity of words, and to send a message to Manhattan and to all the kingdoms. What happens to Oathbreakers?
and I believe that right there is where we can end this scene. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness.